Welcome to Couch Talk. I'm Dave,
I'm Marc.
and we're here talking again.
Yeah.
We had a good
Winstar.
time. Yeah, Winstar.
Heck yeah.
Good time. Had a lot of people come in.
Oh yeah, it was good to see people.
I'd say about 20 people,
I think
give or
so.
take. Yeah,
Yeah, I think so. We had a lot of people just pass by, and some that made some really long drives.
3-hour drives.
Yeah, just to come see us.
We
which was
appreciate
cool.
you, Doug, for coming by,
Yeah,
you and your
thank
wife.
you.
That was a long drive, and Joe.
You guys are real sweet. Yeah.
This was awesome. And Joe played with us.
Yeah, he hung out with us. He had a good hit.
I don't play slots. I don't like playing slots.
Yeah, and he won $240.
$240. I hate playing slots, but I won $240.
Right.
Like, that was
You
good.
think we converted him?
I think so.
You think he'll stop playing video poker?
No, he'll still play video poker.
Yeah,
He's
right.
definitely a video poker guy.
That's right. That's right.
But it was a great time. It's a Saturday night, and it's not really that crowded
Yeah.
downstairs.
And listen, guys, my wife and I both started with $300. I mean, I will say I lost the 300, but man, we started at 4
Like 4 o'clock.
4 p.m.
And
and
just kept going.
I finally, spent my last of it. Like it was probably like 9 o'clock. So from 4 to 9, we were playing slots on $300, and this guy
Oh, man.
is
I had a
playing
great
on the
run.
same 100, yeah, for a long
$100
time.
up
So,
to 1,000, back down to 450. But still, I mean,
it's still your 100.
played on it the
I mean,
whole night.
Yeah,
I did have a little bit of a boo-boo. Mark had sat down at a 10-cent,
that was funny. Yeah.
5-reel 9 line. I sat down at the 10-cent one next to him. I'm playing, and the math isn't working out, and I'm really confused. And finally, after I'm over $1,000, and I realize it's a quarter machine. I'm betting 36 quarters a spin, and that's when I stopped doing it because that was that's too much for me. I'm not
Right.
betting that much a spin.
Right.
And as soon as I figured it out, I'm like, nope, I gotta leave.
That was so funny.
I'm like, why is it?
I can't really blame him either because I was sitting there next to him and we kept questioning the math.
Right.
And I didn't catch it either. Because on those bingo, by the way, we're talking about the 9-line, 5-reel bingo
Right.
machines. The denomination is way up in the
It's
right
hard to
corner.
see.
Yeah, it's really hard to see. It's not right in front of your face. And it was flanked by 2 10-cents.
Yeah,
So it makes sense the whole
They're
bank would be
usually
10.
all in a row of the same
usually.
denomination.
Yeah, usually. And so we didn't notice it either because I noticed you got it was 500 or 720 credits.
720 credits.
And you're like, that's $72, right? I'm like, yeah, 10 cents, that's $72.
And I was like, no, I was
but I'm
down
over
to
1,000.
700. Now I'm over 1,000. What happened? That's what happened. Is math
That's what
happened.
720 quarters.
Yeah, which is
It's a
awesome.
pretty good win.
Yeah, it's a really good win.
Almost $200.
That's like,
So
wow.
that was pretty funny though.
But
It's good to make happy mistakes.
Yeah, it's like
You know,
those.
it paid off.
The same thing happened with me at pinball, making that $5 10
Oh,
credit.
I forgot about that. That
Oh
was
boy,
great.
that was that.
You're like, ooh, I got mixed sevens. I'm like, you're on 5, right?
and I was
He's
like, no, I don't.
Whoa, that was $500, just like that.
That could have
crazy.
gone bad too. It
Oh,
could have
yeah,
gone the
of
other
course.
way easily. But those kind of fun things.
Yeah, the one thing you got to think of is, what if you didn't win there? How long would you have played before you realized that you were on the $5?
one more spin.
Yeah, probably.
Because I only put $100.
That's true. That's true. It would have been real quick.
It would have been one more spin. I'd be like,
What happened?
what happened? And then Mark said, you're on $5. Oh, that's what happened. I'm an idiot.
It happens to gosh, what was the one? When Brantley and I were at Wendover, the triple double stars.
Right. Yeah, I remember that video.
Usually it's a dollar machine, and usually it's a 5-line. So I thought $5 max bet. And I hit that max bet button. It was 75
Woo!
credits a spin. It's like I've never seen a slot machine set up that way. So you got to really pay attention sometimes. They'll trick you with stuff like that. But
I've done
we've
that
all
before.
made mistakes.
Yeah.
It's,
New Orleans, many, many years ago, they had, when the first video machines were coming out, and they weren't very prevalent, and they had a 100-line game, $1 100 lines.
right.
I put $100 in. I was playing 10 lines, I thought.
Oh man.
I hit it once, and I was like, what happened? What? I don't understand. Hit again. That was all my money. It was a $100 spin on 100 lines.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, what the heck?
Oops.
That's probably why I'm not a big fan of the video machines
Oh, yeah,
because of that.
yeah.
But
Well,
I gotta say,
man, those are really confusing too. A lot
There's
of
so much
questions
going
that
on.
we always get is just, you look at the bet panel and you're like, good God, how much am I betting?
Right.
And it's still to this day, I don't understand why they can't just show you the actual dollar and cents amount of what you're wagering. You know what I mean? It's always in credits, and you have
Because
to do
that way you
math.
disassociate
Yeah,
money.
I know, but
yeah.
they should make a law that manufacturers should start putting the actual dollar amount.
actual dollar
it's
amount.
not. It's like the whole concept of like, Xbox did this too, where it used to be you buy a game and it'd be $49.99. You buy the game. Well, then they changed it to where you buy tokens or
Yeah.
you buy Xbox points.
You buy the
and
Xbox
then you
dollar,
use
PlayStation
yeah,
dollars,
you do
all those.
that to get. And so it's for disassociation. Like you can't equate the two together.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why they should. I think they have to.
Fortnite does that as well because you buy the V-Bucks,
Yeah.
you change your cash into V-Bucks to buy
Yeah.
crap on the game.
But only kiddies play that game anyway.
And me too. I'll play that game too.
I'm kidding, guys. Totally kidding.
But another great trip at Winstar. Great
yeah.
meetup. We got to
Yeah.
do this again.
Yep.
And we got G2E
Next week.
in what in
Week from
8
tomorrow.
days.
Week
Yeah,
from tomorrow,
8 days.
We'll be on the plane there. So
We have got so much planned. We don't have enough time.
no, we definitely don't have enough time.
I mean, we're going to be in downtown on Monday.
Yep.
We're going to be looking for
At least.
We're going to be
Like-
bar hopping the whole place. I mean, what bars? Casino hopping.
Casino hopping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a daily giveaway at El Cortez.
Oh yeah, the 10 to 100 free play. Yeah.
10 to 100. We got to try to make that.
Yep.
Definitely checking out Four Queens because I know you like Four
Man,
Queens.
I love that place. I
And-
can't wait to get back there.
I got to show you some of the great ones at the D and the Golden Gate. Both
Okay.
have great games.
Okay.
There's a top dollar there that has been there forever. And
Is
it's
that the one where they had the two together? Where they had
right in front of the cage or the
Okay.
player's desk? Yeah, right there.
There was, I can't remember which one it was. I don't know if it was there, but it was a regular top dollar and a double top dollar next to each other, and they were both quarter, 50 cents, and a dollar.
I believe it's the same one.
The
yeah.
same ones?
Yeah.
Man, those have been in there.
They've been there forever, and they're great
15
games.
years ago, I remember going in there and playing those.
Every time I'm downtown, I find them and I put $20 through them
Yeah.
in quarters.
Yeah.
And because it's fun to play the quarters, because
yeah.
you're just like,
Top dollar is
$20.
fun on any,
yeah, in
top
any
dollar is
denomination.
fun. And speaking of Winstar, I think, did we ever? We only played bingo games tonight, didn't we?
We only played bingo games. We did.
Now that I think about it, we did not play.
Well, quick
anything
hits.
else.
We played the quick hits
We
machine.
played the quick hits, which
Yeah.
was terrible.
It was terrible.
We thought.
But-
Except you got the 6
I got the 6 of them for $200.
$200.
Yeah.
So you got the 6, but I think we mostly played
All the bingo,
bingo
games.
games.
Yeah.
And, I mean,
They're just so much fun.
I don't know what it is about it. but
Neither
it's
do
like,
I.
It's like reading. It's almost like the anticipation of what you're about to get is on a whole different level.
Right.
Because once you learn how to read the bingo patterns,
And then you're trying
you
to
see
predict.
the spin, then you're just like, oh, this could be something. This could be
something.
something. And it's like you know that before the reels even stop spinning. And so there's this element to it that's just really cool. And plus, I mean, we had a lot of consistent play on those things.
A lot of consistent
where
play.
It would just, I mean, there were some lulls where we just can't get
Nothing,
anything.
nothing,
no red
nothing.
screen, nothing. I mean, that happens with any machine like that. But, I mean, I still kind of firmly believe like those 3 reels, like the Lucky Ducky and all that, it's like playing a double diamond machine.
Right.
It's the same pay table.
It's the exact same
The
thing. There's
pay
no
table
difference.
is exactly the same, and it feels the same way. And so I'm really starting to lean towards, if you are going to go to Winstar and you're looking for low volatility Class 3 games, just don't even bother. Go straight to the Class 2.
Like, that's class 2.
3
And
reel.
plus, they're so much
Simple.
fun just trying to guess what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I always guess step ladder. Like, that's the easiest
That's his
one for me
favorite
to
one.
recognize is step ladder.
And-
But if you have a possibility of step ladder, then you also have
Yeah.
the small diamond,
Yep.
some other combinations in there, hopscotch, all those.
Big
So some
diamond,
other things
yep.
are in there.
Yep.
And so it's like, if you can get that one, other things unlock.
Yeah.
And then when you get nothing, it's just, damn,
I
there
know,
was
it's like-
nothing.
I think part of the other excitement is, and by the way, if you guys aren't familiar with like how Class 2, games work, and maybe we'll do a video later on and something like that. But
It's bingo.
it's bingo.
That's the whole series is
It
bingo.
it's bingo. But I think the coolest thing, not the coolest thing, but probably the most frustrating is that, as you're spinning, once you learn all these patterns, you can tell almost instantly if it's going to be a total wash.
Yep.
Like you spin it and you see like there's no possible way a
It,
pattern.
it
could
looks like
exist.
something from Space Invaders, but it's incomplete.
That's right. or
Yeah.
your Swiss cheese
But my
analogy.
Swiss cheese, yeah. If
Yeah,
it looks
got
like
holes.
Swiss cheese, you ain't getting it.
You're not getting much, if anything. But then when you hit that spin and you get almost a full card, like the excitement before
Oh,
the reels
man.
even stop is real. Like it's
And
really
then not
cool.
getting anything at all.
Yeah,
you're
then
like,
you're just like
you're crushed.
You're crushed. It's
But that
like
one
had
time-
so much potential.
You get that full card and it red screens and you have a great first starting
Yeah.
amount. I mean, it just goes from there.
Yeah.
And I had a couple on that quarter machine
Oh, yeah.
that were just like
It was just going and going
going and going and
yeah.
going. And it was just a great night. It was just,
Yeah.
it was fun. It wasn't crazy.
It wasn't stressful either.
It wasn't stressful.
We were hopping from machine to machine, and
Yeah, just bouncing around.
you know, we met a lot of people and stayed 100% in the non-smoking area in Rome. There's a lot of machines in there, guys. Like, I think a lot of people think, you know, and we hear this a lot too. They get to Winstar and are just overwhelmed
There's so many.
because it's not only a mile and a half to get from one side to the other, but there's so many games and machines, and there's so many people, and you know, it takes. I mean, I think one time I was in the other end, like the opposite end,
Where the bathroom is.
like
Well, the only bathroom's at one end.
yeah,
And we're playing the other
like
end.
the where was it? Oh, it was the furthest away from the hotel, which is like the non-smoking, the original entrance. You know, way
Way on there.
And I remember somebody texted me. I can't remember. It might have been Jody. She's like, you know, I'm getting ready to go to bed, so I need to give you a call. And I'm like, all right, I'm heading back. And literally, it was a Saturday night like this, and I was in that room, and it took 45 minutes of me, and I walked.
You're in the opposite
I know,
one, way over there, yeah, by the
45 minutes.
sports bet or the poker room, yeah. It's a walk.
45 minutes to walk from that non-smoking room all the way back to the hotel room, take the elevators on it. It's crazy. It's huge. But long story short, if you're looking for a place to start, I would highly recommend the Rome
Yeah, definitely.
non-smoking room. Not. It doesn't matter if you're a smoker or not. It's still a great place because they have a good collection of machines. It's not overly crowded. Even on a Saturday night, it wasn't crazy.
The
in there.
AC was cranking in there today
Oh,
too.
yeah.
It was
I mean,
nice.
We've been there a couple of times where it's been pretty steamy.
It's been
but
yeah, it's been struggling
I
a
think
few
they
times
figured
during
it
the
out,
summer,
yeah.
but they definitely have it figured out now.
I think I got it figured out, but it's cool.
And it's
man.
it's awesome.
Just
Now
start in
the
that room.
only thing I would say is a negative is that you do have to pay for all your drinks.
Yeah.
Alcohol is not free, and the waitresses do not bring around non-alcoholic drinks unless you buy a bottle of water. But they have the
Okay.
different stations that you have to go outside of the non-smoking room to get.
That's right.
So that would be my only negative about it.
That's
is
true. I don't know why they don't have a drink station inside of
Probably space, just
Yeah.
space for it.
there. That could be it.
They need one. It wouldn't be too hard to do.
I mean, if they have a space for a cashier,
Yeah, they've got plenty of space for a cashier.
they can get
On the other side of the cashier, you put the drink thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, or
Why not?
even, I don't think there's one by the bathrooms either.
there's not anyone. I don't think there's anyone in there.
Yeah.
I don't think there's. Yeah, I think you have to go. I mean, it's not far. It's right outside, but
Still, Winstar, there you go. Put a drink station in there because
Yeah.
you don't want to exit
please
and into
go
the
into
smoke.
the smoke and then come back in. Yeah.
And I will say that once you exit the non-smoking room and you hit a bad patch, it is smoky.
It's
It's
bad.
heavy
It's
smoke.
in the carpet. It's and
It's
plus,
everywhere.
here's the other thing. We were talking about this too because we're always comparing Choctaw.
Right. Choctaw Winstar. Choctaw
Yeah,
Winstar.
I know. It's like, here's the thing. The Rome area is lit very well, and the ceilings aren't black. But as soon as you leave that and you go into the regular Winstar, you have the black ceilings. There's dim lit,
Yep.
and it's just
And some of the
it's
ceilings are
not
kind of
very
low too.
Yeah, it's not very
Yeah.
inviting at all, and it's Rome is like, I almost consider that room a totally different casino.
It pretty much is.
Because it's so big, and it's non-smoking. It's lit very well. The AC was cranking, and I mean, it's modern looking.
Yep.
But as soon as you step outside of that, it's something different. It's just totally different.
Now, Choctaw definitely has better design overall in their casino. They put a lot of work from the start all the way through their expansion. They have a design in mind. And Winstar just added space after space after space. The original thing was just a metal building. And then they put the facade of the different parts of the world on it. And they just kept going around until they got to about, I'd say about where the Rome non-smoking room is. And that's where everything's newer.
Yeah.
And everything from there on is newer because that Across from the Rome room, whatever that is, that's
Yeah.
now, is that also non-smoking?
No.
Okay, no, but
No,
it's a similar look, but it's
But
much
I know
smaller.
what you're talking about
Yeah,
on the other side. Yeah.
the main entrance.
There's an entrance
Yeah,
over there. To
if you're looking
Rome,
there.
the Rome entrance. Yeah.
It's really nicely designed. From that point through the hotel, everything else is really
Yeah.
well designed. Everything further from Rome, basically through London and all the other places,
Yeah.
just didn't have any thought to it. It's just space, space, space.
Why do they even name these things? There's no.
There's no difference. You look on the map, there are just cookie cutter.
They're just. There's not even any theme or
Because
anything.
Winstar World Casino.
Oh. Whatever.
That's why the outside.
Yeah, but if they're going to do it, they should. I mean, the outside facade, sure.
Yeah.
But as soon as you step inside, like you said,
put a
it's
little
cookie
effort.
cutter. It's just
Put a
cookie
little
cutter.
effort into it.
They all have fountains in the middle.
Yeah. For London, you have some more things than just the sign that says London.
Yeah. Put a
Put a Big Bend in
Big
there,
Bend, yeah,
Put
exactly.
just a clock in the middle, for something.
Yeah.
You have the drink station there. Put a Big Bend facade on
Yeah,
top of
right,
that.
why not?
I mean, you have Paris. Put an Eiffel Tower. I mean, it's not hard to put in a few elements.
Yeah, they could put some effort in.
Yeah.
I think you're right though. It's all about. I mean, if they can find a spot to put a slot machine, they'll put it.
Oh,
there.
they'll put, if there's a 2-foot square area, they're going to put a slot machine there.
Yeah.
And there's some spots I'm surprised there wasn't a slot machine.
Oh yeah.
They cleared out a section in the non-smoking room.
I saw that.
And
they had the Huff and Puffs and stuff.
They had the
there
Huff and Puffs
before,
right
yeah.
there, and now they're moved. So I'm wondering what's coming in,
Yeah.
and I'm hoping it's the Diamond RS cabinets coming
They
in.
do need to put those in there.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Front
quarters,
facing.
please.
Yeah. Dollar quarters, those ones, those
Yeah.
denominations,
Yeah.
and
don't
put them
do the
right there
$1,
front and
$10
center.
One. Yeah.
Plus, if they put all those front and center, they'd be highly visible. And you'd be able to find them easily, and those pay.
Oh, please don't say that. You need to clarify that statement. Sarcasm.
It is not a thing.
It is
It
not
doesn't
a
matter
thing.
where a machine is. It doesn't matter anything. They're placing these machines because either they get a lot of play to them and they want more play, or they're contractually obligated to place these machines.
Yeah.
It's
That's the only reason.
other things that say, oh, it's on the end cap. If it's on the very end, that pays better. If it's on the aisle, that pays better. And they don't. They're all the same.
You know where this actually? I found the origins of all this in the late '80s.
Oh, geez,
There
so it's
was
that
a-
old.
Yeah, in the late '80s, there was a VHS tape that a slot expert, and I'm using that in quotes,
In the
put
quotes.
together. I found it on YouTube once. I need to find it again and send it to you if you haven't watched it. But this guy, I mean,
I think you did send this to me.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was
I remember,
like
last year.
low production, like sitting at his dining room table
In a
talking.
basement talking.
Yeah, pretty much. And then he starts to talk about all that stuff of like, well, when you go to the casino, you need to look for the ones that are facing the buffet, and you need to look at the ones that are, at the end of the aisles where they grab attention. And I'm listening to this stuff. I'm like, is this where this all started?
Maybe
this
that's-
VHS tape.
He might be the
from the late
start
80s.
of it all.
Who knows where the origin is? But the funny thing is, and we won't get too deep into this, but what people are always looking for is explanations as to why something is either happening or not happening.
Since the dawn of time,
Yeah.
we've been trying to explain that.
And I remember there was a comment somewhere where somebody was like, "Well, I'm going to go to Vegas during this, this MGM hack because I feel like the machines will be, set to win or whatever the case
They'll be
is."
set to win. How are
Yeah.
they going to be set to win?
And my response to that was very simply, well, I see two scenarios here. You go and you win and you think it's because of the MGM hack, or you go and you lose and you think
It's because of the MGM hack.
And it's like people are they're always trying to associate something that's happening to an event, and that cannot happen in random environments. Like, you cannot associate that. But the funny thing is, and what makes this really complicated, and what humans don't understand with randomness, is that you do have sequential results. Like, it can happen in randomness. Just like the whole thing about, flipping a coin or red or black on the roulette wheel, you can have long strings of 8 reds in a row. In fact, I think we had, when we were at Seven Feathers playing roulette, we had 7 or 8 reds in a row. And, your intuition is always, oh, I got to bet black. because it's been too many reds. Like,
Which is why they have the Christmas tree there in the first place, for you to
it's
see
just
that.
for you to see that and to start making your decision. But we usually, hopefully, that the chances are equal, because roulette is not a sequential event.
Yep,
It's
it's independently.
independent every single time. And so what people don't understand in randomness is that there can be patterns that exist, but it's not predictable.
Yep.
Like, it's random.
Just like in
patterns.
nature,
It's just
you know?
nature, yeah. Like,
Patterns, randomness occurs
Yeah.
in nature, and also you can have a string of that, is predictable.
right.
And so I saw another channel playing roulette, and they were talking about the Christmas tree showed 7 reds in a row. The probability of that is insane. I'm like, no,
It's right, yeah.
the chances of it being that many in a row, yes, gets a little different when you talk about the randomness of numbers.
Yeah.
But the probability is even each time, because
Yeah.
it completely resets, because there's no history and memory in the wheel.
Right.
Just like a coin has no
Yeah.
memory.
Just like a slot machine.
Just like a slot machine.
It does not look back and change the way it goes forward.
It doesn't even look forward.
know.
It just looks the moment in time.
It's just moment in time.
Where the ball drops,
Yeah.
where the number stops, done.
And just because you saw something repeating, and I think that's where people get really caught up, is that, if you do play a slot machine for a long enough time, you may start to notice patterns, or you may
you
start
think
to
you do.
notice, you may notice like things happening sequential, like the bars are always coming up, or what we always hear, we've heard so many times, is that if the top dollar symbol is above or below the line, that means it's coming soon. So you start to, yeah, that's true. That's definitely not true.
I can attest to you,
Yeah,
it is not.
It is not, yeah. But because you see that, and then you are rewarded with the bonus, you start to make that association.
Yep.
It's human nature. You make that association that that's got to be why it did that. And so you think you've witnessed that once, okay? And then you come back and play the game a week later, and you witness it again. And then you come back and play the game a week later after that, and you witness it for the third time.
You're just reinforcing your own.
Wow, there is something to this. But actually what you're witnessing is just randomness, and there can be sequential results in randomness. And that's where people just get tripped up, because it's just, I don't know what it is. I would love to talk to psychologists someday about, patterns, recognitions, and why humans are so, like, it's nature to us.
Well, you
to
see
look
it
for
on
these things.
you see it on double top dollar,
Yeah.
and pinball as well. You see the reoccurring. It's not a pattern,
Right.
because it's a pre-programmed in result.
Right.
So when the 7-7 bar comes up,
Yeah.
the programmers purposely put that in there as a bad result
Right.
to look good, or the double diamond, and then the double diamond on the bottom.
Yeah.
That's a pre-programmed in their result
Right.
to get you to play more. It's not a pattern. It doesn't show you're going to win. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean the machine's going to hit. None of that. It's just, well, the programmers did
Yeah.
to have that carrot in front of you. And as long as that carrot's there, you're going to keep on pressing that button.
This is something I don't know if you knew this, Dave, but pre-2015, that what you just described was not possible.
Right. It was illegal.
Like back then,
Well, illegal.
Well, illegal. Back then,
Yeah.
they could not intentionally program a near hit.
Yep.
It had to still be
Randomness.
for each of the reels. In 2015, there was a change in the law that said that they could control. Now, stay with me. They could control.
Don't jump to conclusions.
Right. They could control what the position of the symbols would be after the spin, but it has to be after the determination of the win has taken a place.
Right.
So as soon as you hit the spin button, and a perfect example is pinball, the new pinball and the new double top dollar, where you were just describing getting the double diamond,
Double diamond,
not
blank.
then the 7-7 single bar. Okay,
Yep.
If you play those long enough, you do see those
A lot.
a lot.
A lot.
And those are intentional. Like, they are intentionally doing that, but they can only do that. They can only execute that part of the program after it's been decided that it is a losing spin.
Yeah.
So where before, the way that the symbols would fall, would have to be part of the random, like the random number generator
Yeah.
that was generating the result.
They couldn't interfere with
They
that.
couldn't interfere with that. And so you did get some near hits with those, but that was not purposely programmed to happen. But after 2015, you better believe that they started to do that. And I wish they wouldn't have done that, honestly, because I think that's one of the things that really gets to people.
That's where people want to associate patterns.
And not only that, just the hook. Like, oh, I almost got. Man,
I almost got it.
Close.
I'll keep on going.
God, I got the 2 bonus symbols.
$100 more, I'll get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I can attest. I have a video somewhere. I'm pretty sure I put it out there. I was at Mandalay Bay and I was playing double top dollar, $1 denomination, 3 credit spins. I had single line as well, single line, and I had the double top dollar symbol above and below the line about 30 times before I ran out of money.
Yeah.
Never once hit.
Yeah.
And it would hit above the line, below the line, below the line, above the line.
Right.
Repeatedly. It hit below the line 5 times in a row one time.
Yeah.
And I'm just like getting really frustrated.
Yeah.
Because I know it's not anywhere closer, but it's just like, come on.
Yeah.
Just go in the center. I'm trying to talk to it at this point, coach it along. This is where your home is.
So the way that they did that back before 2015 is that specific reel stop, which might be, say, position 21, was on the virtual reel table maybe 50 times.
Yeah.
Where just a normal blank on the pay line may only be in there 10 times. So that's how they could control how often that position of that reel would be, is by putting it a ton of times in the virtual reel table. So if that makes sense.
It's just like an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you put a bunch of numbers and you say, give me a random number, it's going to do that. But if you put a ton of 5s, it's more likely going to give you a 5.
Yeah, and that could be where that position is, where it shows the symbol below and then also above. Because it is true that when you do play like the old school double top dollar or regular top dollar, that the symbol does appear above and below quite often.
A lot.
But it's because if it's going to be a blank, they just put that real position a lot of times for the random number to pick from it. So that they can say, with confidence that is going to be the most likely position if it's going to be a losing spin, is going to be above or below. So I know it's really geeky, but it's like, that's actually what's going on there. And that's how they did it before, is just, stack it. So, and I don't know if it was, sometimes I always wondered if it's because they wanted to do the near hit, or if they just wanted people to know the symbol was there.
Probably a little both.
Like just to know that that's what you're looking for.
I think it was more,
I think it
was more the temptation of it, that it's close and to keep going.
That's
it's
true. That's probably
that carrot in front of you is constantly there, and it's reminding you.
Yeah, that's definitely it.
And
that you said that, it's
because it reminds you it's there.
Yeah.
And if you don't see it, like
there.
A great example of that would be double, triple diamond with cheese.
Yeah.
It can go long times without seeing that bonus at all.
Yeah.
And you actually think for a while that it got removed off the reel.
It's not even on the reel.
Is this thing even on the reel?
Yeah.
And then finally she comes up below the line, so you know it's there, and then doesn't come back again.
Yeah.
And that's horrible.
So you can tell that game was programmed differently, where they didn't want to entice you with the symbol.
Well, because the bonus is so hard in the first place to get, so
it is.
You don't want to think it's coming around.
Or it's like a 10 times pay too. I mean, how often do you even see the symbols showing up anywhere?
I'll see the 5 times and 10 times pay often, but never on the line.
Yeah.
It's always off. If it does on the line, it's the only thing there.
Well, there's probably only one real stop for it.
Yeah, it's probably one real stop for it.
You have, for example, there's probably, I honestly don't know because I'd have to look at the par sheet, but 10 times pay probably has 200 virtual positions for each reel, if I were to guess. And probably one of those out of the 200 is the 10 times pay symbol per reel.
Per reel.
So really your odds of hitting it are 1 in 200, 1 in 200, 1 in 200 combined. So that's how you figure out the odds of like again.
There's an equation to figure that out as well.
I'm just making up 200 because I don't know. But inside of there, 50 of those 200 are blanks. Another 50 could be a single bar. You see what I mean? Like that's how they control like what you end up seeing. And so the reason you don't see 10 times pay on the line a lot is because the random number would have to fire off and pick number one
over again. Yeah.
and number one on reel one, number one on reel two, and number one on reel three. And if it's 200 or 300 each
Yeah.
reels, I mean, that is a huge calculation, and
That's
that's
a
why
monster calculation.
that's why it's very difficult to hit that. But on a game like Double Diamond, instead of being one double diamond, there could be 10 double diamonds on that same 200 strip, if that makes sense. So that's why Double Diamond's better to play, because it's more likely the random number generator is going to pick one of those when it's 10 choices compared to one.
A lot, because
know,
you have a
so-
lot of way fewer outcomes
Right.
than you do on 10 times.
Exactly
Fame.
right. Yeah.
Now,
So
on Tuesday, we should hear if the Culinary and Bartending Union
Oh.
accepts the latest deal.
oh man,
I'm a little worried about this.
that's going to be interesting.
I mean, if that happens,
So what is impact? Let's talk about that. What is actually impacted? If they were on strike on Tuesday, what does that mean if you're going to Vegas on Wednesday?
okay, so all restaurants in casinos would be closed.
Okay.
All food, so room service is off too.
Okay.
All your drink servers aren't there.
Okay.
All your bartenders aren't there, so there's no booze being served at all. Now at Aria, for instance, they do have the robotic bartenders, so they could essentially have someone have a scab waitressing, because
Yeah.
you know all that. So that would be all of those, all room service or room cleaning. So all your housekeeping staff,
Hospitality,
yeah,
I got you.
they're all gone.
Now you said the casinos would be closed. Is it like the slot attendants and slot techs part of this?
They are not part of it. Yeah.
Okay,
So your slot attendants, slot techs,
management.
dealers, management, your players card,
Okay.
associates, front desk people. They have a different union.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not included
So
in
really,
the
if
same
it
thing.
has to do with hospitality or like food service,
Right,
that's
yeah.
going to be impacted.
So food service,
So nobody
anything
can
in
get
there.
any food at any of the places.
We're gonna be going to Denny's across the street.
Oh, jeez.
You know,
you know
that's-
how crowded that's going to be?
It's
If-
gonna be
if there's no
insane.
food, like,
I mean, all the places that I showed on my Cheap Eats to Vegas are going to be packed,
yeah,
and I hope there's an agreement met. I really do.
they deserve it anyway.
Well, there's
They work
just
so hard.
a recent release that the quarter's ending and the predicted profits, even for MGM included, are again another record-breaking quarter. So there
Yes, they
is,
should be paying them. Yeah,
you got the money to afford it, and
yeah.
I mean,
And
just
I'm sure they're not asking for like gangbuster stuff.
they're not
Just
asking
like-
for crazy.
Just
There's
cost of
of
living
living,
increase, yeah.
wage increases, obviously.
Yeah.
The housekeeping, cleaning, the cleaning rooms every day. This stuff shouldn't be brain surgery. It should be easy.
I know.
But they got rid of it during COVID, and they've never brought it back because it's a cost-cutting
Yeah.
measure.
Yeah, they learned what they could do.
Right. They learned what they could do without, or what
Yeah.
the people would do without.
Just like you remember when you used to, go to any of those places and you order room service and they bring the nice little table in.
Oh, man, yeah.
Now they give you a bag at the door.
Yep. It's a plastic bag full of
Yeah,
stuff.
It's like,
And you know something's missing.
yeah, oh, it always is. But,
Always.
But it's like I used to, if you're paying that much for room service, which it always was expensive, like I want them to bring in the table, set
I want
it up.
the little things,
Yeah.
the metal things over
Yeah,
the plates,
metal
all
trays,
that.
like that's the whole experience. Like
Yeah.
that's why you're paying $80 for a hamburger,
Right.
which
Something like that.
you should.
It used to be something to order room service. Like,
And now they just, they're like, wow, we really don't need to do that anymore.
here's your Uber Eats order. It's the same thing,
it's the same thing, and it's like in a plastic. And I don't know, like every time that I've gotten those, I feel so bad. I'm throwing so much stuff away.
Oh my gosh,
with
it's plastic and styrofoam.
And then they give me they always give me these two big old bags filled with ketchup,
Yep.
salt and pepper, and I just leave it in the room because I can't throw it away. Like
it's just like that's something.
It's something else.
Why are you
somebody
giving
else
me
could
so much
use,
stuff?
like,
because they
don't-
think there's like 8 people in the room.
Well, I
before
think
you order.
I
Maybe
think
you order a lot.
They want to anticipate everything that you might
Yeah.
request, so they don't have to come back up there.
Well, so the last time I ordered room service, because I had food credit to use,
Yeah,
they forgot silverware,
yeah,
and they forgot my dessert order with it, and it was like the one guy came back up with the silverware, And then he had to go back downstairs and come back up with the dessert. I'm just like, this is wasting time.
I'm so sorry, man. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like that's just wasting unbelievably amounts of time.
Yeah.
And it's not efficient.
No, it's not.
And
Definitely not.
I think if most people who gamble appreciate efficiency,
Yeah.
waitresses coming by for drinks, your
Yeah.
slot attendants coming by, you appreciate that efficiency that happens. How fast food comes out, everything else.
Yeah.
So I'm really hopeful that they figure all that stuff out because I don't want to deal with it.
It's going to be really interesting if we get there. And I mean,
I don't even know if I have a reservation because I can't check it. Like
yeah,
I know I have a
can't either.
reservation,
Yeah.
but I have no idea.
I have a photo from my piece of paper that shows my reservation details. Like this, I think they whipped out these papers from like the 80s.
Oh boy,
Because
you
it
like a
still
dot
ha-
matrix printer around there
It still
somewhere?
has the same like layout of name of guest and like all this. I mean, I don't know where they uncovered this stuff, but it's
All
like,
the back end is probably like some kind of old, AS400,
oh yeah,
that's an old mainframe that
Yeah.
every bank used at
COBOL,
one time.
Fortran,
Yeah,
like all
and
those languages.
all is the same.
yeah,
Every green screen you've ever seen.
oh yeah,
So yeah.
burned into the CRT.
Yep.
Yeah,
And so yeah, I'm fingers crossed on that. I hope they reach an agreement. I hope
Yeah.
there's no strike. I don't want another thing marked off the list for
Yeah.
why this trip is going to be interrupted because MGM's still not up and running all the way. I mean, functional wise for the casinos it is, but you can't see a reservation. You can't look
Yeah.
up your player's card. You can't do anything
Oh.
on the app. Check and see.
no, I just now thought of this, but not getting political, but there could be a government shutdown.
No, that they voted against that. Yeah.
Did they did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they voted against
I
300.
saw there was like 13.
353 to 9, they voted against it.
Okay.
So they voted to fund the government until
Okay,
mid-November.
yeah, I just saw that. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Because
So
I knew
that part is okay.
Yeah.
That's the one thing we got going for us right now. The government's not going to shut
Because I
down.
knew that was going to affect travel because
Yep.
TSA and all that would shut down.
TSA,
I'm like,
FA,
here we go.
FAA.
Like we get this hack, and then we get the union for the food and hospitality, and then the government
Then the
shut down,
government
which
shut.
means we can't fly there.
You think
It's
someone
like-
doesn't want us to go to
it's
G2E?
like, what's going on? Like, wow, this better be the best G2E that we've ever been to. Like,
It better be. And I'm thinking it will be. I think it'll be awesome.
I think so.
Way better than last year. We've know what we did wrong last year.
Yeah.
We've got plans
Stay
to
away
fix
from
that.
Aristocrat.
Stay away from Aristocrat.
Yeah.
Those guys sucked. But yeah, hang out with Ainsworth, Light and Wonder, and IGT. I want to see what their new stuff is.
Yeah.
Because I know they got a new game out. And Blueberry has a new game out.
Oh,
that I want to
Blueberry.
see.
I remember, yeah.
I'm not a fan of the game, but I just want to see it because I know it's new out.
So what was the one that went bankrupt? The one that made the Go-Go Claw?
What was that?
It wasn't Every.
It wasn't Every, but Every has a Go-Go Claw as well.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Did they copy it or?
I think they licensed it.
Okay.
Yeah. Man, now it's going to bother me the rest of the night.
Now I'm gonna look it up.
Was it Blueberry? It wasn't Blueberry.
No, it wasn't.
Every's still in business because I know the rock, paper, scissors and the whack-a-mole alligator game, that's still out there. It's going to kill us. It's one of those things that's going to kill us.
Aruze.
Aruze, yes.
Aruze.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Aruze's the one that did the rock, paper, scissors.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and they did the Go-Go Claw first.
And the Go-Go Claw.
Yeah.
Man.
But it sounds like, from what I heard, is this isn't verified or whatever, but that another slot manufacturer is going to pick them up and try to keep that team alive.
Oh, gotcha.
So I think
Because rock, paper, scissors still is in Circa.
Yeah, they'll still be there because they're purchased. I mean, they're assets unless they were leased.
Even if they were released, they're still assets, and they want to keep.
Well, the problem is if they file for bankruptcy, they're going to have to turn all that back in, right?
Well, only if they have to. Only if the court rules that.
Oh, that's
Because they're
true.
probably still operating normally, except under bankruptcy.
Yeah, that's true.
So
yeah, that's true.
maybe we'll see them. We may actually see them there. I would
they
doubt
will.
it. I would doubt
they
it,
will be
yeah.
there. I can't remember. I think it was when I was talking to the Ainsworth people that one of the ladies that was working with us just came from there,
Oh, gotcha.
and she said that they were it sounded like they had a buyer that was going to try to keep the team together. Because Aruze, they haven't had a great track record, but they've been playing around with stuff.
The rock, paper,
like the
scissors
rock,
game.
paper, scissors, the
whack-a-mole.
the go-go claw. Like
Oh my God, that whack-a-mole game.
I mean, somebody's got to innovate.
Yep.
And they really maybe those don't end up working out, but they're trying something different.
Yep.
And you can do that in this space,
Those two games, the rock, paper, scissors and the alligator whack-a-mole, were the only two games at G2E last year that were truly new.
Yeah.
Everything else was a recycled idea.
Oh, yeah.
But those
New
two
cabinet,
games,
same game.
new cabinet, same game.
Yeah.
We have double top dollar last year in pinball, but it's the same game. You just refreshed it.
Yeah.
The same thing with Aristocrat. It's the exact same games.
Oh, yeah.
They just added
Just Buffalo
Lightning
everything.
Dollar Link,
Yeah.
Dollar Storm Lightning Link, blah blah.
Yeah.
Buffalo Lightning Storm.
Buffalo Storm, yeah.
It's the same
Explosion.
game.
It's just,
But these games were just completely different than anything else.
Yeah.
And that's why I liked them the most. I just thought that was very innovative. Obviously,
very
didn't work out well financially for them, but or maybe it couldn't save them in time.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to tell. You didn't really see a lot of those. I mean, I remember the first time I saw the Go-Go Claw was at Bellagio.
I thought it was a kid's game. I didn't know it was actually a gambling game when I first saw it.
I knew as soon as I saw it, I'm like, I know for sure that this is a predetermined slot.
Oh, absolutely,
I
it
knew
is.
for sure that watching people line up the thing and then go to the side of the glass and I'm like, it's not making any difference.
But the nostalgia is there for everybody.
Oh, it is. It's making you feel like it's better than just pushing a button, right?
Yeah.
Like you're actually getting a chance. But
you know what I'd like to do, and I'm going to do this at G2E. I'm going to find one of the Go-Go Claws, and I'm just going to push the button and just hit the thing in the middle until I win. I'm not even going to try. I'm not going to try to claw. I'm not going to line it up. Nothing. Just push it until I win, because what happens is it decides when you win, and it lets you keep going until you pick something up.
It'll say, "Oh no, you got another try."
And I'm gonna give that a try.
As soon as you see that, you know that you have a winner.
Right.
Because it's already it shouldn't have dropped the ball, but physics sometimes plays a role, and so, I think the funniest thing is that there is no skill. Like you have
the illusion of skill.
Yeah, they would never put. And I always think about the arcades in Japan where these people go in there and just conquer these games.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the basketballs going.
They find all the little things.
They find everything to maximize all the potential out of those games, and so, but that is you're just getting tickets to buy plastic spiders and stuff like that,
or a big stuffed animal.
This is totally different. If they ever introduce skill into a slot machine, then they could turn out the lights in a casino,
easily.
And it's and it wouldn't be fair either. And that's one of the biggest parts of, a slot machine is being fair for everyone.
Equal chance for all. Whether that's good or bad, it's an equal chance.
Yeah. I mean, you could argue top dollar is a little bit of skill, taking the offer, try again.
But to win, you don't have to have any skill.
No, you don't have to.
Take whatever offers there.
You could take the first offer every time if you want. I've seen people do it. They don't know what they're playing, and 15 credits? Yeah, sounds good.
Remind me to send you a video I saw. It'll drive you nuts.
Oh, no.
All right, well, that's all the time we got for tonight. We are going to head out of here, and we're going to be on live on Wednesday.
That's right.
And then we're going to be at G2E next weekend. It's right around the corner.
Tons of content coming your way.
It's going to be awesome.
We're going to have a lot of fun.
Oh, so much, man. And we're going to eat so much, too. I'm going to get him to a buffet. You're going to see it all.
The before and after.
Have a good one, everyone. Remember to gamble smart.
Gamble safe.
All right. Have a great one.
Take care, guys.